Top left-hand side, we've got ourselves our Blue Protoss player from Storm Gaming taking down Gabe in the semi-finals. It is MaxPax. In the bottom right side, our blue-purple Zerg player from the Shopify Rebellion is Lambo. Game 1 of this best of 5. As we kick this off, we get this going, everything begins. And yeah, kind of a fun finals, right? I mean, MaxPax has been winning a few of these Open Cups. Lambo has won a couple in his time. I think Lambo is one of the very few players outside of the big guys, right, to have won multiple of these ESL Open Cup Europes. Let me do some stat checking quickly, I guess, now we're in the early game. Yeah, overall, Lambo is on 2 victories in the ESL Open Cup Europes. He's the only person to have 2 victories. Okay, so put it this way. This is what's really crazy about the Open Cup Europe. There are 6 players who have won more than twice, right? Or more than once, sorry. Marine, Clem, MaxPax, Raynor, Showtime, and Lambo. Lambo's won twice. The next player along who's won a bunch of these is Showtime. He's won 14. So Lambo's won twice, Showtime's won 14. No one has won this event 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. So yeah, Lambo's looking to kind of make it so that there's an even bigger gap, I guess, between, you know, the top 6 and everybody else who's won one of these. Acheron, Kua, Alaza, Gungfu, Harster, Mana, Neeb, Skillis, Serral, Sol, and Euthermal all have a single victory in the ESL Open Cup. Yeah, in Europe, at least. So yeah, that's kind of a crazy stat, right? That's how dominated this event has been by the top 6 players, or even top 5 players, really, right? I mean, Lambo on 2 wins maybe doesn't quite contribute as much as the other top 5. Obviously, MaxPax only started winning these around ESL Open Cup number 100, and he's won 17. I think number 100 was his first victory or thereabouts, somewhere around there, and he's won 17 already. He times that by 3, guys. MaxPax, since he first won one, is on pace to win more than Marine. The math checks out. Pretty much. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Is this a dev going to sneak by? Is going to get a drone early. We're going to start with the Glaives, the Robo. We've seen a lot of this recently. It started at the beginning of this month. The Glaives made a big return in the metagame. And we've really just been seeing Glaives ever since. There's been just a lot of it. It's been mixed in, of course. It's not every single game, but we've seen a good amount of Glaives, and we've seen some very different Glaives. We've seen a lot of Adepts, then Elite Glaives. We've seen 6-gate Glaives. We've seen the good old 4-gate. We've seen the 3-gate. This isn't even Glaives. It's a Dark Shrine. This is something we're seeing more of again as well. Just the straight-up Archon drops, the DT openings, Archon drops. It's kind of incredible how the meta has come full circle, because there was a time where this was the meta, right? This was everything that you would do in this matchup. And then there was like a year and a half, 2 years, where nobody did this because Adepts were good, then Stargate was so good, and doing this was seen as just playing suboptimally. And all of a sudden, we're in this state of PvZ where people will open DTs, open Glaives, open Stargate. PvZ might be at its most varied, kind of different sequence of openings it's ever seen. And that's incredible, because for me, this was a matchup that and I'll openly say that I've never really enjoyed PvZ, right? I always felt PvZ was, you know, I was scarred mentally from the early days. Forge expands into doing nothing for 20 minutes and whatever, but like PvZ has always been a problematic matchup in my eyes. But right now, it might be one of the most fun matchups, simply for the fact that it has so much variance in its openings, so many different ways to get set up. It's really fascinating as Lambo gets the spores ready to go. He had the Rotron ready too. I think he's got a good read on what's going on here. Don't think he's going to be having issues dealing with this initial attack in from MaxPax. As we do come forward, I'm just going to be seeing the DTs. And the Adepts will not achieve much. How many wins does Raynor have? Raynor has 15 wins. But I think what's impressive about Raynor is he's probably played the least amount of these cups compared to everyone else. You know? Like, Gabe has 51 wins, and he's probably played 149 of these cups. I think Raynor has 15 wins, and he's probably played less than 30. or thereabouts, right? Like, definitely less than 50. Breno's win percentage is actually kind of insane. The DTs are going to die for this Spore Crawler. MaxPax is feeling aggressive. He stopped hitting the Spore, though, went for drones. With the combination of the Adepts, he does get 11 workers, and this little 1-2 punch is going to work out wonders. 13 workers killed. He is, in fact, done. Those Adepts do not reach for one final kill. And Lambo just took a smackdown of an attack in the face. I don't think he was quite expecting that, because he probably felt pretty well set up against it all. He probably felt as though he was absolutely fine and A-OK. So it's probably a little bit shocked that all of that kind of came out of nowhere, right? It's going to be seen a couple of DTs going to morph into Archon here defensively. So just going to use that as Lambo begins to set up his Baneling Nest. And he'll double expand left and right to go to 5 bases pretty much straight away. He really only wants 4, but he wants the macro hatchery essentially. So why not just take a double expand? He's playing Ling Bane. He's going to play a pretty heavy core of Ling Bane with that melee upgrade, so he just wants the lava. That's a big reason why he's going to get that extra hatchery. And it also just means, as the Stalkers get their blink, maybe you can give up one position as well and not be as punished, because then at least you're not down the mining base, just in case you can't hold out in the front, because he doesn't really have creep in front of either of those locations. So it's going to be hard for MaxPax to deny both sides of the map. There's generally going to be the logic here from Lambo. First one attack on the way on the forge is going to be seen our gateways finishing. Obviously, Blink has now finished. We'll see our first Stalkers striking down the right side shortly. We already have the Archon still over here denying creep and just being annoying with the Prism. As these feelings sneak into a mineral line to try and get a little bit more work done, and they'll do okay, nothing too crazy. Our Stalkers continue forward. Our Queen Roach gets pushed back. 5 more Stalkers getting warped in, plus 1 attack coming through, charge coming through. Our Lynx come forward, our Roaches move forward, our Spore Crawler coming down is going to scare a lot of this away. Stalkers will get rid of a Spore and just going to come through here. A couple of Queens will be taking some damage. 1 Queen goes down. The Fueling is making a play for this. The Roaches grab an Archon. We're going to lift up, drop back down. Stalkers continue through. Stalkers from the upper right going to make their way back into the center. Robobay, plus 1 attack, charge, all of this coming up at the moment. We do knock down an Ovi. Just going to be seeing our Stalkers and MaxPax making their way right down the middle of the map. Heading into the center here as we push on through. The Archon wants to try and grab ourselves the Overlord kill. Roaches come around the left-hand side. A few extra Banelings morphing on the far left. Lings, Roaches, Ravages. And try and catch these Stalkers. We get a few of the Lings chasing up the top. Catch some of those singular Stalkers. It's going to be a good trade, of course. And now the rest of these Stalkers will kite away. They should have Blink to run, and obviously no creep over here to help speed up this process. These few Lings could maybe try and intercept. I think they're more likely to try and cancel something on that base. And just kind of a lot of Lings now. And if the Stalkers blink, the Lings might have been able to get on top. Lambo's kind of stopped controlling them. The Archons are back in business, or the Archon. Oh, well, the waddling Banelings make it to the mineral line. They get 10 probes in the natural of all places. MaxPax being kept busy all over the place and is obviously taking damage because of it. There's one last Baneling. He sees the probes. If only he had Baneling speed. Are we still not going to add on Baneling speed, Lambo? Does that not seem like a good investment? 15 probes dead. He loses 4 drones. Still doesn't have great creep out on the map. That's one thing he's absolutely lacking. That might affect him a lot when he's going to be up against these Disruptors, right? Because then just Disruptors in the middle of the map even could be a lot more effective than they would be otherwise. Roaches, Ravages just going to come back around into the middle here. Our Stalkers will make their way to the upper right. We've got a couple of Lings all setting up. The Stalkers blink straight through going after those Zerglings. And just going to be working on that pretty much straight away. Oh, Disruptor shot! Just caught a bunch of Ravages, apparently. Well, that's a good start, but I feel that this attack from Lambo might be a little bit too much for MaxPax to handle. This is a big strike coming in toward this base. I think this 4th is in trouble, and that is the 4th of MaxPax as well, so it's kind of an important one, right? Being knocked down at 3 bases here is hardly ideal. Can Lambo actually get that base? He's still playing no Bane speed. He finally starts this. I wonder if he just assumed it had started, because there's no way he didn't notice it before and that he was still running around now without it. He's probably like, God, when is this going to finish? He's like, oh, it's never going to finish because I never started. Now it will finish, obviously. As our Ling Roach Ravager comes by the watchtower, Stalkers coming through as well, going to come chasing this army down, keep hunting for it. The Disruptor production continues through. The one just finishing up there, Templar Archives, is back on the menu from MaxPax. Obviously, we've seen Archons this game, but they've all been from the Dark Templar, not the Templar Archives. As the Lings come in, they find a good surround on a couple of cheeky Zealots, so they are able to grab those kills without issue. Failings just coming through. We're just going to be seeing a few extra Lings continue to sit around there as our Stalkers move up to the top of the map. Just going to be seeing our Ling Roach Ravager Bane continuing in. A bunch more Banes is morphing. A couple Spine Crawlers from Lambo will soon be finishing. Now Stalkers just coming out that right side to try and see what they might do. Lambo's max, guys. Bane speed's finally going to be done. It's obviously going to be very useful. MaxPax has the Disruptors. That, of course, could be the downfall of any attack, however, as these Banes are going to run right into an army. That was obviously just an unfortunate timing for Lambo. MaxPax was right there in front of the third base. I will say, I really did think MaxPax was going to have a lot of trouble on his fourth, but he actually was able to keep it alive, so having that still is obviously very useful. Mining is good, would you believe? And I was just going to see these Zealots getting kind of caught as well, so neither player really doing great on the run-bys. Maybe down the left side would be a bit better. I mean, Lambo's very focused on the right, so I feel like running by this direction is difficult. Those look to be great Disruptor shots, right? But Lambo kind of split ahead. He's getting a few units onto the Disruptor straight away. Can we kill some of these? He gets rid of one. He's chasing for another. I feel like there's going to be batteries here. There's a Prism 2 to protect, and Lambo, he did make good progress, though. He's killed a lot of Stalkers in the last few moments. Now he's going to sit on this base, starting to deny it. We've got these couple of Disruptors moving forward again. The Roach Ravager comes through, chasing the Disruptors down, getting some good kills. 10 probes going down as well. The Bane still crashing through. Disruptor shot again, going to clip on a couple of Roaches. We turn around one more time, going after the Archon, going after the Stalkers here. The Prism loads up, it backs away. 26 probes killed, and MaxPax's overall supply is below 100 for a moment there. There goes the fourth base. I said that this was something I thought might die earlier. Now it does die, and obviously just as impactful. Losing this at the moment, as MaxPax will struggle to mine. Work a count down, fourth base dead. Army hurting, and Lambo will just retreat to rebuild a little, try and make sure he takes as efficient trades as possible. MaxPax still has the 3 Disruptors on the map. I feel like we've not really seen them for a couple moments, no? They're across the map harassing? What? Why are they across the map? I almost feel like he put them in the Prism to save them and forgot and sent the Prism across, and then, like, you're like, why are they over there? When Lambo's attacking, he's like, well, they got 3 drones, guys. I don't think that makes up for all of the damage taken here. Jeez, that's, yeah, that's really something. Jeez, Louise. To quote Roddy, quite frankly, is Roach Ravager Bane coming through yet again. In we go. Another Disruptor shot comes flying. We do just see our Roach Ravager getting rid of a gate. A pile on this Arc on the front in trouble. Some Banes connecting deep on the Stalkers. The splash is maximized. The Disruptors are just not finding enough, and as the Banes get into the Stalkers there, they're also reaching probes, so the damage is doubled up. Another Disruptor shot will hit nicely. Disruptors in general are the only thing that's doing anything for MaxPax, it feels like, at this point in time. But again, he's just taking way too much damage overall, and only 3 bases. He can't mine enough. Lambo takes the lead in the finals. A 1-0 lead for now, but a good lead. A good game from him. As we're going to start off on the top right-hand side with the Shopify Rebellion player. Up 1. Lambo looking for win number 3 in the ESL Open Cup Europes. Bottom left from Sidestone Gaming, it's MaxPax. Okay, so let's see what sort of game we're going to have for game number 2. Inside now is kind of a Glaives map, right? Like, I know we didn't actually have Glaives last time, but we had a Twilight opener, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, Twilights. In my head, I'm like, it was almost Glaive still because it was a Twilight, even if it was a Dark Shrine in the end, you know? As stupid as that may be. So, yeah, we had a Twilight last time. I wouldn't be too surprised to see some kind of Twilight play again because, like I say, it's a pretty decent map for Resonating Glaives, so definitely feels like that should be something that would be quite cool. Hatch, gas, and pool all coming down here initially. This one started, and obviously the cyber core from MaxPax. Give it a few moments, figure out where this is going to. See what's going to be happening shortly. Sir Wriggleson, thank you so much for the 7-month resub. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the support. Spawn pool. Hatch, all of this on the way up at the moment. See where we go. Obviously, right now, just following our probe around. Harassing. Our warp gate starts before a Stargate, guys, unless we cancel. That's likely to be a Twilight Council and a Glaives. Maybe not Glaives, but a Twilight Council at least. Unless it's a fake out. MaxPax does sometimes do the 2-3 gates and then like a lot of adepts and then a later Glaives, but then it hits with a lot more adepts, so it's harder to hold, even if you have more preparation time, because it just hits that much harder. One thing MaxPax likes to do, and there's 2 extra gates, so this could still be signs of a Twilight Council a bit further down the line. It's just maybe not going to be quite yet, so one thing to, again, keep in mind another possibility in the wild mind of MaxPax for the moment. Going to the main, obviously just trying to scout, trying to figure out anything. Trying to keep Lambo a bit busy as well, draw a couple of units out the weird ways. And now she can combo with the other adept, so there we go. Kills a drone, kills a Ling. That's drone number 2. Drone 3 should be on the menu. First adept dies, and the other adept gets out alive. 3 drones, a Ling. Not really too much of a drone play, I guess, but I think the 3 drones makes up for that anyway. So that's going to be a pretty successful play out of MaxPax as Lambo trying to chase down this adept, and I think he might get it. It's obviously a little bit of a shame for MaxPax to lose it, because we're talking about him building, or looking to build a few more adepts here. Obviously, every adept you lose is going to depower an adept attack later, although maybe I was completely off, because he's not warped in any additional adepts yet. He warps in 3 now. Let's see if he does go Glaives then off the Twilight. As the 1 Stalker, I guess, to shut down the Overlord. That was what was throwing me off, but it does make sense to have it. Okay, shut down the Ovi, and then I guess the big question becomes actually, do we go into any more gateways, or are we just content with 3 gates and then try and take the 3rd Nexus? Because sometimes MaxPax does like the 6 gate Glaives as well. I mentioned that one, I think, at the start of the series, perhaps, in terms of all these different adept builds we can see. MaxPax is definitely not one to shy away from just ramping up the gateway count and just really committing pretty much all in to the adepts, more so than just like, oh yeah, adept harass, that'll be fun. And there's 2 more gates, so that's already going up to 5. Definitely on the more aggressive side of things. See when or if he wants to stop. Yo, these adepts just commit. Wow. It must be kind of frustrating playing against MaxPax sometimes, because it feels like this is not the time for these adepts to commit based on the Twilight timing, but and again, I guess you just killed a bunch of adepts without them having Glaives. That's generally got to be seen as a good thing. You're keeping that unit count low from MaxPax. Your Ling Roach is on the way. Your drone count still, completely viable. 37 drones is okay for now. Obviously, the only thing with 37 drones is you can't start to lose drones, because you're already cutting on a low drone count to absolutely make sure you can overwhelm the adepts and that they don't get any damage done. And that's great if you don't lose any drones from here. These adepts are just not going to commit to this shade. Obviously, they will stick over on this side. Prism could elevator them into the main base. Right now, they're going to start playing the dodgems with the Biles. The Roach Ravager doesn't know where to go. Very awkward position to fight in. Ravager's going to go to the high ground eventually. Decides that's a good call. Corrosive Biles don't connect as the adept shades. We didn't lose drones, though. And like I say, that might just be the most important part of all of this right now. Not losing any of the drones. Staying as healthy as possible in that regard. May just be the trick. Prism comes back down the lower left side. A bit more Ling Ravager. Continues to get set up. Sending a few adepts out through to the center of the map, and a lot of them making their way up north as our alert building from Lambo. So finally starting attack. So is MaxPax building the rover base, still only on the 2 bases. That's another queen out the front as the adept shade 2 into the third, or 3 into the third. The rest into the natural expansion. That's where the main fight's got to be here, right? As Ravagers do pretty well against them, honestly. Now we've got the Prism in the main as well. Lambo is going to get here a little too late, and now the Adepts are fighting Ravagers. Oh, MaxPax is so annoying, right? I mean, it's so hard to just keep up with this. Suddenly the Adepts from the natural are in the third base. These Adepts from the main base just shade out. It's nothing more than a distraction to pull your units to the wrong place at the wrong time. This is a good catch, at least. He gets a good surround, he gets Corrosive Vials, and he helps to clean the Adepts up pretty quickly. This is a situation where the Adept Shade should just cancel. You kill 2 Ravagers for free, and again, that's the power of these Adepts, the ability to just be so malleable with their movement, you know? You commit to a Shade, but it's not actually a commitment. It's going to force the Zerg to respond and respect it, but then you can play against that and around that. And that part is obviously, in general, very smart here as the Adepts go chasing a Roach, and one more Baals coming down to hit the Adepts just a little bit. Adepts going to get another Roach here and just going to be seeing our GG from Lambo. He kind of knows that this one is over. This one just is not going his way, and MaxPax is going to open up the series to a 1-1 scoreline. Perfect. We're going to those Adepts, and to those kind of numbers that he can just be so... I think malleable is a great word for it, right? Like, he can really bend what he does with the Adepts to his will to, like, just kind of play against what the Zerg is doing, right? It's not just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to drop an Adept around here. I'm going to drop an Adept around there, or anything like that. It's, much more so a case of, yeah, much more so kind of a case of, yeah, he's just like, you know, he sees what the Zerg is doing. It's not planned out. He's just like, boom, boom, boom. You're doing this, and I'm going to do this because of it. Like, it's so reactionary, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for in the end. So, yeah, very cool stuff. Very fun to watch. Hatch gas pool. Getting set to go. And let's see. It's Probe fighting minerals once again. A great mineral fight of 2022. Will it ever end? Probes are so annoying, man. So freaking frustrating. They just don't stop. They just fight all the time. Nibbling at minerals, stealing them away. It's cheeky. It's going to be seen our Overlord coming by. Cybercore is about to finish up. As that Cybercore gets completed, we're just going to be seeing our Warp Gate getting going. Link speed is on the way. And a couple of drones continuing around the corner to the third. Go GLHF. Don't think it's too unusual. They usually say GLHF in the lobby chat stuff before the game starts. Some people don't. Some people still like to say it kind of in the game, but I don't think it's particularly BM to not say GLHF in the game in a tournament and stuff. It's kind of fine. Because usually, like I said, it happens in the lobby. They don't call them inepts. No, they're definitely very... Yeah, they're definitely very capable. Adepts and fun in one sentence. Looking at depths of fun. Ooh. Drone and a Ling. 2 drones and a Ling. Yo, we not got game hard on. Is that not 2 drones? Oh, there's 2 Lings in a drone. I could have sworn he killed a drone initially there. My bad. I was like, whoa, what? He's gonna get the kills now. Well, 2 Lings go down, but obviously getting only 1 drone is nice. From that Lambo's perspective, not losing more than necessary is very solid. That's going to be seen now. Okay, we're coming up at the front. Warp Gate, Oracle all coming through. The Adept continuing into play. Oracle makes its way out over to the far left-hand side. Oracle comes down, he has a couple of drones. MaxPax going to dive further. Once more, 3, 4, 5. And this is a very low HP Oracle. Wow, 1 hit away from dying even. So it was a very low HP Oracle. That's a risky one as, oh, the Queens maybe could have reached out to the edge, creeping caught it. 5 drones is great, but obviously the Oracle is kind of rendered somewhat useless because it's so low on HP now. The Oracle, though, looking for more, and Lambo realizing he can't lose more drones, so he's starting to build spores, and he doesn't lose more. Now it's a second Oracle low on HP, so it is going to minimize the Oracle harass possibilities for MaxPax throughout the rest of this game now, and that, of course, should be pretty important. That Oracle shows up, a couple of Adepts making their way into the front. I'm just going to be looking to grab a Creep Jumo already. Nice Revelation as well, picking away at all of this creep so far. So just chewing our way through that. All at the moment, getting rid of as much as possible. Again, a couple of devs taking some hits, just going to try and shade on by, not quite able to do enough. The Oracles get shoved over the sides though. And just going to be seeing that blink starting up on the side of MaxPax. Again, that up and rolling. As we have the Oracles going to latch themselves onto this hatchery. Hatches taking a bunch of damage. Can we actually cancel the 4th base off this? Yes, we can. Wow, I said the Oracle harass wasn't really going to go much further, but apparently it will. Oracle harass will go all the way and cancel the 4th base, and that has got to feel bad for Lambo, as he's just getting bullied in this early game. It's what now, 9 drones dead, 13 Lings for 5 Adepts, and the cancelled 4th hatch as well. Resources lost. Favoring MaxPax is on a comfortable probe count. Blinking +1 on the way as a follow-up, and Lambo's response is going to be Baneling Nest and Hydra Den. So Ling Bane Hydra, meet Blink Stalker, fight. Let's see who wins it. We get to see it pretty quickly. Oracle takes some damage, and the Lings retreat back home as our couple of hatcheries build on either side. So Lambo, again, just double expanding, kind of like we saw in the last game as well, right? It's not necessarily a, oh my god, I'm behind thing. It's a, I need 2 hatcheries right now. I may as well put them on 2 different bases. So just going to be doing exactly that. Revelation goes down. Creep Human gets denied. Queen's going to fight here as the Lings look for a bit of a wraparound, perhaps. Stasis Ward going to get a catch on just 1 Ling. This attack from MaxPax hit Lambo early, and, well, Lambo's not really had time to get anything up. I mean, the Hydra's obviously not in production yet. The Bane's not coming through. Ling Queen for the moment holds on. MaxPax will back it up a little bit. Doesn't really have the Oracle energy to keep protecting the Stalkers from a higher Ling count, I think, is maybe going to be one of his issues. Melee upgrade is done as well, so you do have to respect the Lings a little. He will Revelate one more time. Keeps the creep spread from advancing further forward here, so it allows him to more easily move around these areas. He's doing a great job. Picking off the creep like this is a really good little move from MaxPax. Because like I say, it just gives him so much more opportunity as the game progresses, because he just has so much more map control he can keep up, right? It's just so much safer for him, to, you know, because there's no creep to kind of speed up the Zerg. 2 Hydras on the way. 26 Lings being produced too as the Stalkers very quick to start blinking back. They're not really wasting any time at all there against the Lings. The Bane counterattack immediately, well, just rendered ineffective. Not enough workers on that base, and they don't have Bane speed, so They just decided not to go for it, but now they're being chased down. Lambo's still losing out on Lings. He's getting a Stalker or two. A Depth show up at the same time for a couple more drone kills. So more damage being dealt. You know, once again, just a pretty brilliant job of it altogether. As our Stalkers and our Oracles move back into the middle of the map once again. Little stasis ward, going down here as our Lings and our Hydras were looking to move on in. The Stalkers continue to trade. They're going to have to start blinking back here. Careful of these Lings. The Lings coming in from the other side and just going to be having ourselves... the Stalkers continuing to fight a little bit, so just doing what they can. As the Hydras, the Banes, the improved Spines, the +2 melee, everything still upgrading. Not ready yet, so MaxPax has a good time to just keep on trading. Stalkers are doing great. This is all off the back of a very strong early game with the drones that died and the hatch being cancelled. The Hydra's now getting range. This feels like a moment where the Stalkers need to actually turn around and get out. It was the first time in a while because this was in general very good for MaxPax, but the last couple moments actually went a little bit better for Lambo at least. The problem is now you've got all these Zealots arriving and you've got, well, a very open space on this location. If Zealots can tank against the Lings, Hydras are going to get surrounded quite easily. They can't sit in a choke or anything on this location, right? Prism's already going to the main as well. He doesn't feel like he needs reinforcements here. He can just go harass the main and pull Lambo further apart. Lambo, I don't think, has anything headed to the main either, so he's not really responding to the Prism just yet. MaxPax does not succeed in killing off this base, but like I say, in the main base, he should have a very good time. Kills off the first Hydra here. He's forced all the drones to retreat. The Balins come crashing in, but that's obviously not exactly cheap from Lambo. That's his gas units being used on Zealots, and yes, Balins are very effective against Zealots, but that wasn't like a massive chunk of Zealots. That was just, 4 Zealots or so, and a good few Banes rolled into them, so I think MaxPax will once again feel okay about that. Queens continue to spread the creep out on the south side. Stalkers taking position here. A couple of creep teamers will go down. We drop a Revelation. His hatchery is the target. He just wants to knock it down. We do lose an Oracle, and actually we changed off the hatchery to start going after the Queens. It's a good stasis ward, actually. It's going to really protect the units a little bit for MaxPax because it's going to hold up a lot of the Lings and just wall off a bit. The Banes on the top side going to get a few more probes. Banes really continue to just crash into Zealot land here. As the Stalkers continue to fight, Lings still taking damage. We're continuing to back away with these Stalkers, trying to get back as best as they can, trying to stay out of trouble where possible. These Hydras are just going to go down, left on their own. It's obviously not a fun trade for the Hydralists, and that is generally a sign that MaxPax is really getting into game-ending territory here, because Lambo is just trading out units that are just a little bit too expensive to be losing like that, a little bit too expensive to lose for free, essentially. He loses this base, gets knocked down to 4 bases while MaxPax sits on 5. The Disruptor shot fires. It doesn't really hit much, but it's more of a warning shot, giving MaxPax the free retreat. He doesn't need to really be anywhere else right now, as MaxPax is going to win game number 3. He's going to take a 2-1 lead, and he is going to be up in this series, 1 map away in the top right-hand side. Wonder what he's got planned for this map, because like I say, it's not exactly the Zerg map of the series. It's Lambo from the Shopify Rebellion, looking to try and tie it up. Top left, Blue Protoss player from Psystorm is MaxPax. See what he can do on Stargazers. Why is my observer always at the bottom of the list? I say my observer. Why is the observer I like at the bottom of the list all the time? He's not mine specifically. He's indie. He streams in Polish. Just, I like his camera. It's always at the bottom. I swear down every time. Apart from when I open the list specifically and I don't go through every observer first, then he's always at the top. Can't win. Just can't win, can I? Probe comes up around the top, hatch gas and pool all coming down. Probe gets a nibble on the mineral line for just a few moments here. Next is coming up, Cybercore producing. It's going to be seeing our hatch gas pool at home. So obviously nothing really, yeah, not even a hatchery block initially. That hatch does get to go down on the natural, which is rather lovely, one could say. Gate starts again, no Stargate initially, so this suggests a bit more of a Twilight build. Maybe we see some Adepts again. Maybe we go back to the Dark Shrine. It's the fake. So this time we're going to go start the Warp Gate, cancel it, build the Stargate, and then we are going to go into the Warp Gate again after. So just a little bit of a fake out, trying to make Lambo second guess himself on the scouting. Not paying attention when it cancels and rebuilds, right? Then you don't quite know, so... yeah, just a little bit of a fake out, nothing too serious then. So it's not going to be a Twilight Council. And that means we're going to go into the Stargate opening instead from MaxPax, which, in fairness, the Oracle's last game, absolutely spectacular, right? They really delivered, they really did everything they needed to. They were great, plain and simple. They were really, really good. So, yeah, it was fantastic to see. As we've got a Queen Star at the front, the third hatchery is coming down. And the Cybercore built up that Warp Gate, as somewhat previously mentioned. Nope, with a Void Ray. We've not seen MaxPax build a Void Ray all series. We have, throughout the course of the tournament, seen a couple of Void Ray openings. I believe Mana against Amalga, he opened Void Ray a couple of times, and Mana at Laser. But, yeah, Void Ray into the Oracle is something that's going to come back into popularity. You kill this Overlord quickly. Overlord can't scout what the follow-up is. You know, maybe it's a Twilight already, maybe it's an Oracle. And MaxPax is just going to take a 4-minute third base because, hey, you can take the in-base super quickly. That's something else Lambo doesn't really get information on because he has no other Overlord nearby, and even if he did, the Void Ray would be working on denying it as he denies Watchtower vision for the moment. And yeah, there's the power of this Void Ray. It is going to take all vision away from Lambo. So Lambo will be completely blind to this right now. Has no idea what's currently going on. That's obviously just a little bit rough. A little bit unfortunate. Hard to work around. As that Void Ray makes its way around the right. Oracle comes in, drops a little Revelation down. It's going to pick through the information on those Queens as the Adepts kind of second-guess themselves there. They were kind of going to commit to that mineral line, and they're like, no, actually, let's go deeper. So they didn't quite get to this mineral line when they started their shade. Still works out. 3-4 drones going down. Oh, God, what's happening? The Queens all got stuck on each other. What's going on? 7 drones. Oracle in the main, undefended. Oh, no. Lambo is falling apart here in game number 4. It's all gone wrong as we finally clean this up, but 9 drone kills is enormous damage. I mean, that's just not damage you're meant to take as a Zerg to the first Oracle and the first 2 Adepts. He's almost kind of lucky, no? Like, am I crazy? That he's kind of lucky, I think. Because he's got 7... I mean, honestly, if there's more Oracles on the way, I feel even worse. We're actually going to go into Phoenix on the follow, which might give Lambo a little bit of breathing room for a while, and at least a bit of a chance to recover or so. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I don't really know what the best case scenario is in this case. I guess playing Roach being made from Lambo, I guess he's just going to all in because he seems to know it's Phoenix, perhaps, or seems to know that maybe his only chance lies in an attack. So I mean, an attack is pretty good typically against Phoenix. This is not a good map to attack on. It's actually quite large to get across. And MaxPax is going to have a wall on the natural. It's not like he has to defend an open third base location, so he's got a pretty good position to defend as well. There's a few Ravages going to be morphing in, a few Lings and Roaches continue to set up as well. Ravages are popping, Queens are coming through. Stargates going to have a Twilight Council next to them as well. Drones are going down as well, but Phoenix, you guys needed a... MaxPax needs to defend. I actually don't know if he's got anything to defend with. The MaxPax has nothing. He's got 6 Phoenix, a Void Ray, 3 Adepts, and an Oracle. He starts an Immortal here. The Void Ray ain't going to defend against the Queens, which have walked across the map. And, well, Queen walks have not really been a thing lately. They are now. A great time to pull it out. The preparation here from MaxPax, like I've kind of said, is non-existent. We're going to crush down this pylon. We're going to gain access to the natural. And like I say, it was not the ideal map to really do something like this on. But again, the lack of information and preparation from MaxPax means it's really possible. As did you see the Ravagers lifted by the Phoenix here? The Phoenix are trying to work their way through them. The transfusions are making that difficult. Going to try and relift once again and try and get a kill. The Immortal being saved by the Super Battery is... The Super Battery will also keep this cannon alive. I mean, this is a very open natural. The Immortal kind of trapped in here. Does that pylon depower the Robo? No, it's still powered on the back somewhere. I have no idea where. Okay, there's a pylon next to the Assimilator. And there's just so little battery energy remaining here. And as the second Immortal pops, I just can't see a world where this is enough. But, I mean, the supply of Lambo has gone down massively. Is there a world? I think the issue is a lot of the supply of MaxPax is still in Phoenix, which is not necessarily immediately great right now. This cannon is helping a lot. I mean, these backward defenses are huge, with the corrosive vials knocking them down. The supplies are so similar. If Lambo could spend his money, all of these lings would make a massive difference. The Robo facility is going to fall, but the Immortal... Oh, the Immortal can't get out. It's completely trapped. The Immortal was finished, but it could not get out. Yeah, okay, Lambo's supply plummeted, but boy, he just still had enough. And MaxPax didn't have enough at all, and that's 2-2. Tied our purple Zerg player is Lambo from the Shopify Rebellion, tying this up with the Queen Walk, his speciality of the past. Top right-hand side will be the Blue Protoss player from Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. Game number 5 then. We go all the way. That's nice though. First ESL Open Cup EU I show up to in a while, and these guys decide to play every single game for us. It's just nice of them, isn't it? It's been a cool cup, guys. It's been a fun night. So I took a bit of a break from these cups because every time I went live for them, it was like chat was kind of quiet. Took me forever to find games. We missed games. People saw. I just got tilted. It was a bad mental experience for me. So I kind of stopped doing them for a little bit. But it's been fun. Chat's been great. It's been good to see you guys all chattering and discussing and everything. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And yeah, just excited to obviously keep on bringing you guys the action. We'll be doing the Open Cups when I can still. It's just, we have so many other stuff, so many other things to cast. It's still kind of low on my priority list, so it's more of a, if we have time in the week to do something, then we'll do the Open Cup. You know, but obviously it doesn't necessarily always make sense to do the Open Cup because, you know, if I can stream earlier on the Monday, I generally get more viewership than trying to cast something that a bunch of other people are also casting, so. But we'll do it here and there. Like I said, it's, I definitely needed a little bit of a break from it. I definitely needed a little bit of a while off. What's up, Incubus? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 2-year resub. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, Wardy. To you as well. Thank you so much for the 2 years. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Lambo is ling flooding. As all of the lings get started, ling speed is on the way. Couple queens are on the way out. So all of that just getting set up here, and the drones are already pulling. So Lambo is apparently just done with this series in terms of trying to macro. And you know what? Twilight Council from MaxPax, it might just be the perfect build from Lambo as well. And this Adept isn't going to see it. He sees nothing so far. Oh no, he just sees like 2 lings left behind like normal. If this Adept cancels, goes in the main, sees 2 lings here. Honestly, this doesn't look too weird just yet, right? And there's no wall off. That, my friends, is very bad. The pylon is going to be under attack pretty much immediately. That is horrible. That is awful, quite frankly. This is really bad. Lings, drones, fighting at the front. Going to come in, knock down a couple of pylons here as well. This is, like I say, just absolutely horrendous from MaxPax. Everything's unpowered. The probes are going to pull, but this should be a great fight for Lambo, who will get a lot of probe kills here. Extra lings are showing up. Ling speed's not even done yet. As we get rid of all the probes, ling speed will kick in to start surrounding the Adept and the Stalker. Pylon gets online, but yeah, MaxPax types GG. Lambo gets ESL Open Cup EU number 3 for himself. GG's with the Ling Flood drone pull to wrap it up. There you go. Boom. How about that for some action? Well, don't I just feel silly for having run a whole chunk of ads just before that game, guys?